She walked into the room, her face glowing with the kind of excitement that usually comes from good news, and with a tremor in her voice, she said, "I'm pregnant, and it's triplets." And the entire family froze, forks mid-air, glasses tilting, eyes wide, because everyone knew the struggles we had faced trying for a child, the whispered conversations in doctors' offices, the failed cycles, the heartbreaks that had defined our last 5 years. And I smiled, a slow, calculating smile that no one understood, not even her, because they expected tears, screams, ecstatic hugs, something that matched the miracle she announced. But instead I stayed calm, serene, almost unnervingly so, and she looked at me, searching for joy, for warmth, for the husband she thought would collapse with happiness at the thought of 3 new lives depending on us. But what she didn't know, was that I had already uncovered the truth behind her sudden announcement. The secret she had thought was buried deep and untouchable, the truth that would shatter the illusion she had so carefully built around her immaculate image of motherhood. And I waited, letting the tension stretch like a taut wire, letting every heartbeat in the room synchronize with the suspense, until finally I spoke, my voice calm but carrying the weight of revelation. "Triplets? That's interesting." And her smile faltered, confusion crossing her face, because she expected celebration, not hesitation, not the subtle undertone of suspicion. And that's when I dropped the bomb she never saw coming, the secret I had uncovered with months of quiet observation, with patience, with evidence she had unwittingly left behind, a trail of messages, hidden accounts, and late-night rendezvous, all pointing to a reality she had hoped I'd never discover. The triplets weren't mine. None of them, and I revealed it slowly, methodically, letting the room hang on every word, letting her dignity drain as the truth unfolded, and the whispers began, soft at first, then louder, as relatives realized that the woman they had praised, the woman they had admired for her miracle news, had orchestrated a lie so bold it would redefine every relationship in that room. And as her hands trembled over her belly, clutching what she believed was her ticket to admiration and love, I reached into my pocket, pulled out the phone, and with a swipe, displayed the messages, the photographs, the unmistakable proof that shattered her narrative completely. And the room went silent, the air thick with disbelief, anger, and betrayal, her family staring, mouths agape, unable to reconcile the woman they trusted with the deceit they now witnessed. And she tried to speak, to explain, to cry, but every word was swallowed by the evidence she had failed to destroy, the trap she had left for herself. And I watched, calm and composed, because revenge isn't about screaming or confrontation. It's about timing, patience, and the perfect unveiling, letting the person who thought they could manipulate the world realize that their carefully constructed lies have finally caught up with them. And as her knees gave way and she sank onto the couch, tears streaming, begging for understanding, for forgiveness, I simply smiled, letting the weight of the truth settle over everyone. Because nothing is more powerful than the moment when the facade collapses, when everyone sees the real person. And she realized that I wasn't the naive husband she had counted on. I wasn't the man who would blindly celebrate her deception. I was the one who had been silently waiting, collecting every piece of evidence, planning every word, ensuring that when the moment came, the truth would hit harder than any punishment she could have imagined. And as the room looked at me, stunned, some gasping, some whispering, I said softly, but clearly enough for her to hear, "Miracles are wonderful, but lies, especially when dressed as miracles, have a way of catching up to you." And I turned, walked toward the door, letting the finality of my steps echo, leaving her with the weight of her deception, the shattered admiration, the stunned silence of family and friends who now saw her for who she truly was. And as the door clicked shut behind me, I felt the thrill of revenge, the satisfaction of justice served not with rage but with calm precision, knowing that for years she had underestimated me, mocked me, manipulated me, and now, with the revelation of her lie, the world she had built on falsehoods crumbled, and the triplets she claimed to carry were not a symbol of joy, but a monument to her own folly, exposed at last before everyone she wanted to impress. And I walked into the night with a quiet, victorious smile, knowing that true revenge isn't about anger. It's about patience, timing, and letting someone's own lies destroy them spectacularly.